been
he does
working on it
online?
for a year, so I'm too close to it, so it's really
the
hard
beta
to
blockers?
see.
Oh, nice. I've
but-
always wanted to try. Think not today.
Thank you. So nice. I need some. I'm gonna get some water for the stage.
Can I have black vape it? Oh yeah, I like this song. This one's good. Look at you with the reserve seating.
Well, I mean, that part where like he comes to the her place and he's like, "Fuck you, like you're the star and nobody pays attention to me." I based that like whole thing
It's cool.
Is this on? Hello.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Good evening. Welcome to Earth and to tonight's reading of a play that artist Sam Anderson found buried in the Special Collections archives of the New York Public Library. Sam was looking through rejected manuscripts from years ago, and she didn't expect to come across the name of her late mother, Conchata Ferrell, who had recently passed away. See, Sam didn't even know that her mum had written a play, and neither did any of her mum's friends. And it turns out there's quite a lot about her late mother's life, that her late mother's life in the kind of experimental theatre scene of the 1970s that Sam didn't know about. Realizing perhaps that she had some unfinished business with her mum, Sam set about adapting her mother's lost work. And Sam's been working on this over the last year together with artists Andrea Fourchy, Valentina Vaccerella, Sadaf Nava, and Whitney Claflin. And you lucky, lucky people are going to be the first in the world to see it. Please join us afterwards for a drink to celebrate the first reading of this new work. But now, to introduce the wolf is an endangered species. Please give it up for the one and only Miss Sam Anderson.
That was beautiful. Thank you. I don't really have a lot more to add. That was very nice. I just really appreciate you all coming out. I don't know if you've ever been to a play reading before, but most of the time theaters, when they do play readings, it's pretty much to workshop the script and see how the audience responds to it. So it's very special that you all came here tonight, and I cannot believe this turnout. It's unbelievable. This play does run about 40 minutes, so if you feel like you need to sit down, please sit down. And I want to thank Earth for being so open and generous to the idea of doing this. They didn't even read the play before they agreed to it. They just said, yeah, that sounds cool, like, let's do it. And they've been incredibly supportive the entire time, and I really owe a lot to them, so I really thank them. And last but not least, I really want to thank these amazing friends of mine who are fellow artists. None of us are actually actors, but we've been working really hard on trying to figure that out a little bit. But it's been a wonderful experience, very cathartic for me. But also, I can't believe how these women have been responding to this project with such positive energy, and I owe them a lot, and I really appreciate it. So thanks everybody for coming, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, that's it. Okay, bye. We had a technical issue with one of the microphones right before this reading, so we're going to do a little check.
Check. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds good to me. The Wolf is an Endangered Species, written by Conchata Ferrell, 1973, and Sam Anderson, 2025. Characters in order of appearance.
I'm Andrea Fourchy. I'm playing Anne, early 20s, aspiring actress, assistant to Meryl. Green, ambitious. She is not fond of Barbara.
I'm Valentina Vaccerella. I will be playing Meryl, mid to late 30s, casting agent, aspiring director, overwhelmed, trying to see out her vision.
I'm Sam Anderson. I will be playing Barbara, late 30s to early 40s, actress, funny, sad at her core, sometimes mean. She is not fond of Anne.
I'm Sadaf H. Nava. I will be playing Jenny, late 20s to mid-30s, talented musician, some piano. Joie de vivre. She is more observant than she lets on.
I'm Whitney Claflin. I'll be playing Melanie, off stage, and I'll also be reading stage directions. Manhattan, 1973. November, early evening. Lights fade up on a large studio. This is Meryl's home and workspace. There is a door that leads to the hall, stage right. The hall leads to another room off stage. Audio tape reels are piled near the store. There are 2 small printed sofas and a chrome glass coffee table, stage right. There's a costume rack between the couches and several medieval costume books piled on the coffee table. Fiddle leaf plants, Fiddle leaf plants, pillows, and rough model set pieces are scattered throughout the room. Costume drawings and notes are taped to the walls. The coffee table is cluttered with typewritten scripts, resumes, headshots, newspapers, notepads, pencils, fashion magazines. Lauren Hutton on the cover of Vogue, October 1973, is one of them. Several After Dark magazines, some playbills from current and years past. There are 2 ashtrays, 1 typewriter. There's a telephone in the room somewhere with a stuffed Rolodex next to it. There's a small piano against the wall, downstage left. Lead sheets should be stacked on the piano, more sheets stacked on the bench. There's a small bar set and 4 stacked clear glasses and 1 large bottle of brandy, 3/4 filled, a set of tongs, and an ice bucket filled with ice. Lights up. Barbara and Meryl are in the room. Both are flipping through piles of headshots. Anne enters carrying a clipboard. She closes the door.
There are still 5 girls out there. Do you want to see any of them before you call it a day?
If one more blonde waltzes in here and sings I Don't Know How to Love Him from Jesus Christ Superstar, I'll go screaming into the street. Tell them to come back tomorrow.
You could see at least one more. They've been out there for hours.
No, I can't. Fine, who's next?
Melanie Adams.
Melanie. Wonder why I didn't think of her before. She's cute. Pleasant voice.
Anne leaves into the reception room, leaving the door open. Both Barbara and Meryl are left alone on stage. We can hear Anne off stage.
Okay, Melanie, what will you be singing for us today?
Oh, hello. I'll be singing the trolley song from Meet Me in St. Louis. You know, clang, clang, clang. And I Don't Know How to Love Him from Jesus Christ Superstar.
Just a minute.
Tell her the role's been cast.
Anne walks off stage.
We've just had a call from the producer. He's on his way over. A last-minute production meeting. Apologies for waiting so long. If you come back tomorrow, we begin again at 10:30 a.m. sharp.
There are sounds of mumbling, gathering, and the door closing. Barbara shows a picture to Meryl without looking up from the stack.
Get her.
She's been here 5 months. I like to cast them while they're still polite. 1 more month and she'll be too opinionated to direct.
We're only casting my understudy.
Okay, why her?
She irritates me the least.
Anne returns on stage and closes the door. Barbara looks up at Anne with a smirk.
You don't have to face them. I do.
Better you than me. Have you heard from Kevin today?
Anybody want a brandy?
Me?
No, why?
Meryl pours brandy for Anne and herself.
Get me a tab, will you? I just think it's time for a production meeting.
Anne leaves the stage to get a tab for Barbara. Barbara and Meryl remain on stage, sorting through the papers. Off stage, we hear Anne singing from Jesus Christ Superstar.
I don't know how to love him. I can't say why he moves me. He's a man. He's just a man. Sorry, tab?
Neither react. Anne returns hurriedly, hands the tab to Barbara.
Thanks. So, how much head is Kevin going to give you?
Haven't you heard, Barbara? Roe v. Wade. It's very in these days to be a woman.
It's very in these days to be a dying animal. They get money from the government.
New York State Council and a few more of the bigger foundations keep hinting around that an increase in grants may be had if certain responsible positions were to be filled, i.e. women directors.
It's Kevin's theater. He's going to want you to use his people. He's loyal.
Kevin's an opportunist. He's not loyal. He expects everybody else to be.
Meryl, you're awful.
The Ford Foundation's sniffing around. Rockefeller's new gender equity initiative. Even AT&T's throwing out art money.
Okay, all right. Let's say you get your grant. Remember Leela Gans? Took an NEA in '68 for the Scottish play. Fired her after 3 previews. Histrionic choices. Hired a guy who said it in a biker bar, won a Tony. Maybe you should get one of those. Nice look for you.
A Tony.
Motorcycle. Leela's teaching high school in Poughkeepsie now.
Merrill points to the headshots.
Did you like any of them?
I liked Pat Harris and Connie Aderman.
I liked Connie too. What about Ellen Day?
She's too tall for Lee.
Barbara looks at Merrill.
You're going with Lee?
Probably. He sure is pretty.
I'm not so sure. No balls. You need a man who can project.
Is Jenny coming tonight?
She said she'd be here around 7.
How old is Jenny's kid?
He's 6 months old. Why?
What age do women start bringing them around?
I just absolutely love babies when they're that small. Completely dependent on you for everything, and they smell so sweet.
Oh, they stink.
Did Jenny say she was bringing music?
Yes.
I hope she's got the closing number for the first act.
This is exciting being in on all of this.
Yeah, Meryl's finally pulling it together. Beats the hell out of casting mouthwash commercials.
Casting mouthwash commercials makes my standard of living possible. Let's try to keep Jenny talking about the music. I wish she hadn't insisted on Harvey arranging. I hate Harvey.
He's good, though, and he'll do it for free.
Plus 5 weeks in bed with Jenny.
Really?
No, that's not our problem.
Well, what about her husband?
Husband?
Well, I reckon the baby? Well, how courageous of her.
Reckon? Where are you from, Anne?
South Bloomsfield, Ohio, 14 miles south of Columbus. Why?
How'd you get to New York?
By train.
Uh-huh. Why?
I wanted to be an actress.
Wanted to be?
Want to be.
And how did you find your way here?
That's funny. You know, I met Meryl on the train, and
You met Meryl on the train, and you've been here ever since.
Merrill playfully snaps the ice tongs at Barbara.
You know, Barb, you really ought to work on that tone of yours.
Doorbell rings. Anne exits. We hear an exchange of greetings in the background.
The hell were you doing in Ohio?
Layover.
Huh.
Jenny breezes in with a coat tucked under her arm. She carries a large weekender bag filled with papers. Some escape as she floats around the room. Anne trails her and picks them up.
Is it ever going to be winter out there? Here I am with a little shawl on the 9th of November. What's happening to the weather anyways? We didn't have a decent winter last year either, just a dithering sort of limbo. Do you think it's the ozone layer? I unplugged the icebox and switched to stick deodorant the minute I read about it in the paper. And the baby's got a heat rash. A heat rash in November. If I'd wanted civilized weather, I'd have stayed in LA.
How's Harvey?
How's the music?
Oh, we're mad at each other, but the music is terrific. We work better when we don't get along. Need a little conflict to get the juices going.
Jenny sees Anne and takes the pile of papers. She pulls out 2 and hands her back the rest.
Here it is. Want to hear it?
This is the first act curtain? Let me have a look at the lyrics first.
Sure. How's rhythm on the range, Bar?
You know, flat as a prairie pancake.
Ain't that the truth? Better let me hear it, Jenny. I can't read your writing.
That's my printing. I write terrific. I print for shits. It's called The Ballad of Grim March.
Jenny sorts herself at the piano, plays, and recites.
Oh, list I, Lancelay, now sing. Through wildest wood and nature's sting, did I press on with nary rests. The briar tore me at my breasts. With sword in hand and helm of steel, each vine and branch did bend and reel. Yet I, through thorn and shadowed spites, still surged ahead into the nights. Then came the beasts with eyes aglow, rats the size no man should know. I struck them down with iron might, and slew them by the fading light. Through battles fierce I hewed my path, through men and steel and blood and wrath, where maces flashed and spears did thrust, and life was ground into the dust. I passed by men upon the rack, their bones stretched thin with tortured crack. Yet onward still I held my sword, as screams did fill the endless ward. At last I stood by her cold grave, where naught but death and silence gave. But lo, young death, that swain most vile, didst woo my bride with cunning guile. O time, thou thief of flesh and bone, thou bringst death to claim his throne. For death is youth, as I am gray. He steals my bride, I waste away.
Giant rats. I dig it.
I don't.
Why not?
I wanted a beat for this section. I asked for a beat. The first act has to end on a high note, with an ensemble, I might add, if you want to bring the audience back in for the second. The song should come straight after the castration scene. I want a banger for the end of the first act.
Hold on. When does the flaming sword come in? Before or after the castration scene?
Before, doll. The castration can't happen without the flaming sword. Poor priest.
I thought the priest is forced into the Iron Maiden.
No, that's the tax collector.
So who dies on the rack?
The stonemason and the cobbler.
I see. Well, no one likes a tax collector. The upbeat song can work for that scene. And the tax collector gets axed in the second act, correct?
No, not an axe, the Iron Maiden.
Figure of speech, honey.
I said I wanted a beat for the end of the first act.
An upbeat following a castration is potentially ill-suited. How much are we showing them? Also, Kevin said that actually for this
It's implied, Jenny. Theater? What do you played this for Kevin before you brought this to me? You played this for Kevin? Why did you do that?
he called Harvey and he said he wanted to hear it.
I am directing this.
I told you so.
But Kevin has a
And what did our great artistic mentor have to say?
I played the upbeat. He said the mood of the musical called for something more subtle. It called for a tour de force early on, like the famous one in Turandot. He said to save the upbeat for the climax of Act 2, then fold back into something like this for the final third.
The hell does Kevin know about directing musicals? Turandot is an opera, and Nessun Dorma is in the final act.
Harvey says Kevin has a real feel for this
Harvey
kind of-
says, tell me, is he slipping into Kevin's bed this week as well as yours? Or have you given him a working leave of absence?
Easy, baby.
Why should he climb into Kevin's bed when he's so satisfied in mine?
You are not, after all, the deciding voice of what will soon be known as the most important theater in America.
Neither are you.
So says the Village Voice.
I'm having lunch with Carlo tomorrow. I'll try to find out from him what's going on with Kevin.
Your 19-year-old assistant is having lunch with the producer?
I'm 23 and a half.
Get Kevin on the phone now.
I can't. He's having dinner with Mr. Merrick. Can you imagine I know someone having dinner with the David Merrick?
How does she know Kevin's schedule?
I know someone who had lunch with Tennessee Williams once.
Really? Have you ever met him? I'd never be able to handle it. I'd simply die. I still get tongue-tied around Kevin. I wonder if I'll ever be able to meet anyone important without just falling to pieces.
No, I never did. But look, Meryl here, she happens to have one of the draft of his plays. He couldn't decide between calling it Vieux Carré or The Angel in the Alcove. Carlo left it. He got it from Glenn, whose cousin, I believe, nicked it from one of Tennessee's notorious soirees.
Anne and Jenny huddle over the play.
Careful, please. Anyone finds out I have that, I'm toast.
This is something. Look, it says in the description, the lead is afflicted by a passionate will to create and by virtual destitution. He is, of course, myself at 28. He truly means himself. I wonder if he'll leave that in.
He misspelled afflicted. Oh, and innocence. What you reckon, dipso facto? A terrific writer who prints for shit.
Anne clutches the play. It is the missing map to Atlantis.
Then, across the makeshift partition, a sound of dry and desperate sobbing, which sounds as though nothing in the world could ever appease the wound from which it comes. Loneliness, inborn and inbred to the bone. Divine.
Come on, Meryl. Hear the song again. Jenny did a good job. You can't live with it, we move on.
Let's read the final beat aloud from the script, and I'll go straight into the song. That way you can get an idea of the continuity. If you still don't like it, I can call Harvey and he can have him bring it over.
You didn't bring the upbeat piece with you.
Well, no, Kevin, I didn't think. He always makes the decisions. I'm stupid, what can I tell you?
You're not, but I will remind you all that I am directing this play.
When it's Kevin's theater.
And he's letting me direct in it. Normally, I would think that implies some sort of trust. I'm not going to have him messing in this.
Compromise? If you give in about the song, he might reconsider letting you use Lee.
Wrong.
What has he said about Lee?
You haven't talked about it?
No.
Well, shit. I hate this company. Someone tells me something, says keep it a secret. Next thing I know, everyone is telling me that same thing. Then someone else tells me the thing I think everyone knows, and that's what turns out to be the secret.
It really wasn't a secret.
You knew Kevin was going to fight me over Lee?
I had lunch with Carlo yesterday.
Meryl throws up her hands.
I thought it should come from Kevin.
You're right. It should come from Kevin. To me first. All right, what did Carlo say?
Just that Kevin doesn't think you're using your head. Said once he's sure you've thought it over, you realize how wrong Lee is for the part. He's summer stock. Gorgeous in that bromo seltzer ad. Can he carry a crusade? I don't know.
Perhaps I agree. I agree with Kevin. Can you honestly picture Lee singing this outside the tomb? I mean, he is pretty, but spiritually he is not.
Spiritual.
Balls.
Perhaps I should just turn this project over to Kevin. Let him do it.
I like Jenny's idea. Let's read the final beat of the first act again and hear the song. I can read Barbara's part if she's too tired.
Barbara begins to reply, but the phone rings.
Let me get that. Hello? Oh, Amy. Late. Is Amy late?
Was Amy supposed to be here tonight?
She's doing props. She probably needs notes.
You did. Impressive. Amy got an A on her French exam.
Jesus.
No, I haven't talked to Carlo today. I'm having lunch with him tomorrow. What? She's heard something we haven't.
Amy had lunch with Carlo today.
You can tell me.
Kevin talks to everyone but me.
Kevin talks to Carlo. Carlo talks to everyone but you.
She's here.
Anne has received shocking intel. She glares at Barbara for the remainder of the call.
You're kidding.
What is this? Kevin and I are supposed to be friends. As much as he can allow himself to be friends with a woman.
Not a word, naturally. Okay.
No one minds you being a woman half as much as you do.
You gonna start with me? I don't need it from you.
Sure. I understand.
Do you want me to call Harvey and have him deliver the upbeat? It was dumb of me to have left it. You wouldn't mind bringing it over, honest.
All right. See you soon.
Anne hangs up the phone. Her wheels are turning.
Amy has to stop by the theater to pick something up. Then she's coming here.
If you're going to call Harvey, can you ask him to stop by the health food store and pick me up a couple of tiger milk bars?
That's candy. I thought you were dieting.
She's always dieting.
I can have candy if it comes from the health food store.
I gotta call him anyways. I'm out of Pampers. They saved me when they came out with that extra absorbent kind. Can I use the phone in front? I know you don't like baby talk.
I don't think I could deal with Harvey tonight.
Right, I forgot. You hate Harvey.
I don't exactly hate Harvey, but
Sure you do. I don't mind. I never like guys that anybody else does. If I like them, they're no damn good. Talented, but no damn good.
Except maybe in bed.
Isn't everybody?
Ooh, listen to the woman. You must tell me where you go hunting.
Anne slowly slides the Williams play in her bag. No one notices. She looks out toward the audience. Her eyes are misty.
My father often took me bird hunting, ever since I could remember. We get up at 6 a.m., have some coffee, cream of wheat, and then we take to the fields. He had a 12-gauge automatic. I could barely hold the thing. I was so small. So I carried my slingshot. I gather pebbles along the creek.
Barbara interrupts, laughing wildly. Anne is sour grapes.
The fields. Good God, are you always on? Auditions are done for the day, baby. Now, if you want to come back tomorrow, we begin again at 10:30 a.m. sharp.
Christ, can we please just get this shit sorted?
Sure, I'll call. But isn't it funny? We can't seem to get work done when there's more than two of us in a room. Somebody always talks about if somebody's getting laid, and bang. You know what I hate? The only way I can actually stop myself from talking about sex is when I'm sitting right next to a man. Then I can work. Sad state of affairs.
Okay, Jenny. Out.
Jenny, Harvey, don't forget the tiger milk bars.
Jenny throws a lazy two-finger salute towards Barbara as she exits and closes the door.
Meryl, can you pull the headshots of Pat and Connie? Ellen, too. I like her. You know, she looks like Lauren Hutton.
She's an Amazon.
Your Lee isn't a midget. He's at least 5'10".
Barbara, you're taking Kevin's side in this. You know, I'm hurt. I expected at least your support, considering you're also starring in this production. I waited 13 years to do some real work in this company, and if I fail, it ain't gonna be because I couldn't move without some fucking man supervising me.
Okay, spare me the militant dogma. You don't try to raise my conscientiousness, and I won't try to talk you into buying a motorcycle. Deal?
I'll have Lee dye his hair, okay? Maybe grow a beard. He won't look like an ingenue if he grows a beard.
Barbara laughs.
I envisioned Lee as the leader of the Order of the Teutonic Knights.
Okay, look, this ain't a conspiracy, okay? Kevin didn't tell me anything. Carlo did. All Carlo said is Kevin is dead set against Lee.
He's never seen him act. I bet he has someone in mind. One of his cute tricks.
He's never seen you direct. How come he's sure you can do it?
Is he sure?
He gave you the production.
Can you think of anyone better?
Jenny enters.
Sure I can. Some guy somewhere's got to be prettier than Lee. A pretty, experienced actor who's got the balls to sustain a whole play. I consider most anyone else. I don't know, Michael Landon.
God, I missed Bonanza. I'd bet Michael Landon in a hot minute. You think we can get him? Too expensive, I imagine.
You feeling frustrated, Barbara? Can't seem to keep your mind off balls tonight.
Barbara is silent, but reacts to this coming from Anne.
See? Just like me in 6 months.
Who is?
Me.
You don't count. What about Sam Shepard?
Sam's tying things up over at La Mama. I thought you wanted someone from the company. I hear he's bow-legged.
I can personally confirm that he's not. Twice.
All right.
What'd I tell you? Someone mentions getting laid instead?
Should we all just quit and start baking brownies?
Meryl, watch out. Histrionics.
All right then, let's focus. Harvey's gonna try to intercept Amy. He'll give her the lead sheets. If he can't find her, he'll drop them by. But I told him you're in a bad mood, so he can't come up. Barbara, he's getting your candy.
Ooh, it's so nice to have a man around the house.
Meryl, about the song, I think it's one of the best I've done so far.
I didn't say we couldn't use it. I said I don't want it for the first act curtain. I'm thinking about position.
Barbara is on her feet, perusing the clothing rack.
Ooh, Paris silk. Harris tweed.
Humor me. What do you think, Barb?
I think I want to drink a cup of coffee, read the Evening Post, have myself a cigarette. Anyone else for coffee?
Barbara pulls a cardboard sword from the rack and throws it over her shoulder. She sings as she exits.
Just a guy in pipe and slippers who will share your breakfast kippers and will help you zip and unzip your zippers. It's so nice.
What's going on with you and Kevin?
I never know. We're in trouble until the messages filter in through Carlo. Who can say? We've been on and off the past 6 years. It could be simply we don't like each other.
Or he's giving you something he can't direct for a reason.
But I've been after him to let me direct for at least that long. When he finally said yes, I thought he'd trust me to do it. And what does he do? He turns daddy on me.
Maybe you intimidate him.
Intimidate Kevin? No, Anne.
Barbara returns with coffee, settles on the sofa to read.
Plenty of coffee on the burner.
Well, Meryl is awfully definitive sometimes.
I believe that.
I'm not gonna say that thing about catching flies. No, I am. You gotta put the charm on, Meryl. Be the fox.
Meryl, drunk, laughs, brandy in hand. She sips throughout.
Be the fox? This isn't how to be the office Venus without losing your job. It's my project. Me, Miss Mademoiselle Two Jobs. I asked for something serious. Kevin finally throws me a bone, and it's the spring musical on a papier-mâché budget. Fine, I can work it. I can do the Crucible on roller skates. They get their long lunches, we do the production meetings on their behalf. When we do go to lunch, thank you, Carlo. It's one-on-one as a set of broads against each other. So we waste time squabbling like we are now. To prove I can't do it. You know, Kevin just invested in some NYU Yahoo, $5,000 on a sound sculpture. If you can believe it. Field recordings of glacier movements. What's that like? Clink, 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 clink. Barbara was right. It's black tie, save the Eagles, $500 a plate, or whatever pseudo-intellectual shit is hot in After Dark magazine. Another manifesto, please. For fuck's sake, Norman fucking Mailer. How privileged are we to walk amongst the great literary lions of our generation? Remember when I did Had a Gabbler 3 years ago? In that Worcester Street workshop? They said that my steel-toed Hedda had too much teeth. Well, you want to call me the butch boss? Be my goddamn guest. No one is giving a woman like me the green light unless she's out here cutting throats. You be the fox, Jenny. Okay? I want to be the wolf.
Here's an ad for a 1971 Honda 360, Meryl. Why don't you look into it?
Ooh, are you getting a motorcycle? Terrific.
I'm not getting a bike. Did you say there was coffee left?
Back of the stove. Here you go, Meryl. Capricorn, stick to business. There may be delays and small frustrations that could get you off track. Avoid people who offer free advice. You get what you pay for.
What does it say about me?
Cancer. This could be one of your better days this month. The morning hours favor business. Relax with friends in the evening. Hey.
I wish they would predict something more specific, like today you'll sell a song to Sondheim.
What's mine? I'm a Leo.
Yes, you are. I'll get Meryl some coffee. You want coffee, Jenny?
No, I'm off caffeine. You got any apple juice?
I only serve coffee.
I don't want a full cup. Give me a sip of yours. Jesus, black?
Why don't you have another brandy? Let's look through those photos.
I think Lee is ready.
Look, you don't have to listen to me, free advice. But I bet if Kevin wanted to use him, you wouldn't.
Bullshit.
I think you, of all people, would want Lee, Barbara. You're certainly not being very loyal.
Who asked you? Go type.
What does loyalty have to do with this?
Nothing.
Ask Barbara.
We aren't getting anything done.
I'm asking.
You may as well tell her, Barbara. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows
Knows
what?
what?
Nothing. Enough. do the song, okay?
Knows what?
You know, Amy had lunch with Carlo today. He asked if she knew anything about Barbara and Lee. He said he'd seen them at the back table of the Riviera last night, and on Friday, someone saw them mooning into each other's eyes at Yellow Fingers.
You sly old Ming.
You fucking bitch.
You desperate little farmhand.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Kevin is gonna go green when he finds out.
So much for all that talk about no balls.
Fuck off.
Is it true?
I hope it is. Tell me it is.
How long has it been going on?
Not now.
Why didn't you tell me?
Doesn't concern you.
It is true. I love it.
No one is asking you.
Stop playing Mama, Meryl. Barb hasn't had a relationship in ages. I think it's terrific.
What about your career?
She's got her career. Audiences don't keep your legs warm at night.
Okay, while the three of you work this out, I think I'll make a run to the deli for some apple juice.
Jenny, Anne, you go. I'd like to speak with Barbara privately.
Come on, Anne. It's getting a little heavy in me.
I don't want to talk about it.
Meryl doesn't care if she's sleeping with Lee.
Oh, okay. Why did you bring it up?
I couldn't understand why you weren't fighting for Lee instead of against him. I know when I'm in love with somebody, I do.
Go on, Anne. Take a walk with Jenny.
If Amy gets here, tell her where we are.
I don't want to go to the deli.
Go to the deli, Anne.
Anne is frozen. She looks as if she's about to say something.
Please.
Sure. Sorry I brought it up. I hate to think I caused any trouble between you and Barbara. I'm sorry, really.
Anne.
Do you want me to bring you anything?
Get her out of here.
Come on, Anne.
I'm sorry, Meryl. Really, I am.
Jenny and Anne get their coats to leave. Meryl and Barbara remain silent until the other two exit. From off stage, we can hear Jenny and Anne.
What is this all about?
Well, Barbara is supposed to be her good friend. After all Meryl's done for her, you wouldn't think that they would just...
The outer door closes. Throughout this scene, Meryl straightens the room. The straightening process begins almost absently, then becomes more involved as the scene progresses.
You've been lying to me. This is one hell of a way to treat someone who's done everything in their power to help get you going. I took you in when you were living out of a suitcase poor. I don't know what else to say.
I'm sorry you don't feel properly reimbursed.
I don't mean that. I did it because I wanted to. I always believed you were extraordinary.
I'm just another one of your stray cats. It just turned out better.
I was so furious with you, I couldn't wait to get them the hell out of here so I could tell you what a calculating shit you are. And now?
Meryl pauses here in words, but not in activity.
Say something.
I have no words at the moment.
Meryl picks up Lee's headshot and looks at it. She turns and looks at Barbara.
Lee?
Lee,
Why?
he was available. You know, that doesn't happen for me very often. You've got Miss 23 and a half. You always have someone. You don't need me.
Anne admires you. Anne is jealous of you. I never said anything about us.
Yeah, well, something is off with your Anne. Stick her on a train, shuffle that little shit all the way off to Buffalo before she murders me in my sleep.
She's just green. She works hard. She fits here.
Yeah, well, she fits wherever she wants to fit, the wicked little sponge. Have you seen it? How she does my hands?
She's a hick. She's a hack. She's a parrot. She's a sponge. She's the Wicked Witch of the Eastern Railroad. Anything else, Barbara?
Or did you know that she's bad news? You brought her in to punish me? Because I wouldn't go public. You ran into her at the train station in Ohio.
Now you sound jealous. What do you want? Everybody always knows who I'm sleeping with. I parade them around. I wear them like a pin. Look what I've got. I never told anyone about us. I did what you wanted, though it murdered me. You know how I feel, Barbara.
Barbara gets up and closes the door.
I wish you didn't,
I don't wish I didn't. You're important to me.
as you are to me.
Then why?
I need a man. You're getting compulsive. Have another brandy and sit down.
Meryl pours another brandy and carries it with her around the room, Lee's headshot between two fingers on the same hand.
You want one?
I still have my coffee.
Must be cold by now. You want me to get you a fresh one?
I'm good.
You didn't want me to cast him because I would have found out?
No, I meant what I said. He's not ready. He's young, you notice? We'd look ridiculous together on stage. Turando or Baby Jane? Carlo's already laughing. Everyone shows up for me. Lee gets overlooked. It all goes sour. Let me have this. I want to work with you. I think that we should work.
I can't work until we get something settled. When did you decide you need a man?
I've always needed one.
Bullshit.
No.
Then you've been lying. I remember the night you opened at Reno Sweeney's. The audience rose to its feet when you finished your set. Do you remember what you said? No man's ever made me feel like this.
That's still true.
And when you began to pull away, I can't handle anything heavy. I want to act. I can't do that and handle a heavy relationship.
Meryl,
And I bought it. I wanted you to have it all.
please sit down. You are making me very nervous.
Barbara mustn't be made nervous. Heaven forbid Barbara should be made to feel anything.
Fuck off.
You need a man that's rich. Is this about pleasing your daddy? His perfect marriage to your perfect mother?
You leave my father out of this. He's a wonderful man. 13 years. You think you're being shafted here? What do you think it's like outside? You're safe up there in that dark booth, swirling your brandy, posturing with the boys and all your sophisticated ingratitudes. They don't like what I'm doing? Cooked. Nature of the business. So I take what I get, Lee, if you will. I'm not getting married. And besides, who'd marry me?
Don't feed me your in-between songs patter.
You wrote most of it.
Yes, I did. See? This. I am grateful that you came back to the company to do this show.
I'm not doing it for the company. I always said anytime you got the nerve.
It isn't a matter of nerve. No one's going to take care of me.
What, your budget? Black bucks it, you silly bitch. Build us a giant rat. Do it before anyone else out there does. Put money in the sword, give us torture devices, paint them a radioactive blue.
Barbara points to one of the model sets.
Screw this elaborate Zeffirelli bullshit. Glue and paste the rest, and like you mean it.
Not bad. Barbara, please, stick to the subject. Are you going to deny that you love me?
No.
Then please tell me why.
The doorbell rings, sounds of Jenny and Anne letting themselves into the hallway. There's some impromptu conversation.
I don't know any other way to be a woman.
Jenny and Anne creak open the door and enter tentatively.
Is everybody decent? They didn't have fresh. You'd think people would catch on to added sugar.
I know. Orange Julius has grapefruit juice, but it's raining anyhow.
Is everything okay?
Pause. Meryl looks at Barbara.
Everything's okay.
Well, the room looks terrific. Listen, Meryl, you know I play circles around anyone. Doesn't matter. Master's degree, doesn't matter. The balding daddy-os upstairs, the gays too. I'm a cartoon to them. It's fine. I built her. I smile, big red lipstick, all the way through the painful, insidious commentary. Low expectations. I play great, then they go quiet. Then I'm in. You protest too much. You've got it half as hard as me, and I've got the kid. I like my song where it is, so I'm adult because I agree with what Kevin says. Shit runs downhill, so I get it from you now. You're stubborn, scary. Sure, baby. Lean into that. But not so much that you break the whole damn table. I don't want to go back to LA, uprooting myself and my kid again, scoring some all edge and no point Norman Lear knockoff. Don't make me go back, Meryl. Bend a little for the keeper of the keys, or we are done for.
There is a brief silence as Meryl stands, arms folded.
Your song is good, Jenny. I do like the play. I've become nature of the business, I suppose. Call me baby again, and I'll break your fingers, okay? And no red fucking lipstick.
Are you all right, Meryl?
Now, cool it, Anne. I did not leave the show.
That's right. Barbara is still starring in this production. However, I'm going to let you understudy. Congratulations, Anne. You got the part.
Silence. Meryl raises her glass. Barbara pours herself a substantial serving of brandy.
Whatever made you say that? If you're joking, I said I was sorry.
Yes, if you're joking, she said she was sorry.
Do you want to understudy?
You said I wasn't ready.
You're doing it. It's settled. Better watch yourself, Barbara. Anne's getting good.
Barbara downs her drink, lights a Virginia Slim.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Ever seen All About Eve? It's a great play. Listen, Meryl, how about Martin Woods? He's a son of a bitch to work with, but he's as pretty as Lee. He sings better, and most importantly, he's macho.
Do you want me to call and see if he's available?
Call Lee. Tell him he's got the part.
Meryl hands Lee's headshot to Barbara.
Jenny, let's hear the ballad again, without the lyrics. I want to get a better feel for the music.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Anne skips to the Rolodex, picks up the telephone and dials. Jenny moves to the piano. Barbara smokes on a sofa. Jenny begins to play. The song continues throughout the telephone conversation until the lights go out. Meryl sits on the sofa opposite Barbara.
Lee? Hi, this is Anne. Congratulations, you've got the part. Yeah, Meryl just decided. Yeah, I'll get back to you with a schedule, but guess what? I'm gonna understudy for Barbara. Isn't that terrific? Well, thank you. By the way, I think it's just great about you two. No, she told Meryl all about it. Oh, okay. I'll talk to you soon. I'm having lunch with Carlo tomorrow if you'd like to join us. Oh, see you at rehearsal. Okay, bye now.
Anne hangs up the phone with a flourish. She smiles to herself as she settles on the couch next to Meryl. Barbara is defeated. She lights a cigarette. Meryl is still, arms folded. They all watch Jenny play.
I almost could like you, Anne. You've got balls.
And the crescendo comes here.
The music continues until
Lights out.
lights out.
That's it. Thank you. Turn it up.
Oh my god, I'm tangled. There we go. All right.
Loud enough.
Thank you.
What do we do? I don't know. I was so nervous.
Oh,